Right. And then, another thing on top of that, you had the Nazis invading a lot of countries, starting to, and that was building over there. And you've got that factor on it, and that coincidence all happening at the same time. Yeah, people are going to think this is it. It's hitting the fan. And then, a lot like in the cowboy days, like when the Indians would, they would get some of the white people and to get down to the last person, they would save a bullet to kill themselves. Well, you got families killing their families because they're thinking, aliens are going to kill us or eat us. And it's all just a play, but they don't know it.
No, and that's the whole thing. I remember reading about this farmer and his wife and couple kids, right? He was listening to this and he's hearing about, it's coming towards his direction and it's leaving rubble behind him, okay? He couldn't bear the thought that, I imagine this is probably what he thought, okay? Because what they found was his bodies. But he decided that evidently it was better and more humane to kill his wife and his kids and shoot him and kill himself than having these Martians, do what they did. Now, if that happened today and somebody, pulled a radio show like this and made it sound like it was real and official, whoever did that and who was involved would be in prison.
Yes, they're going to be liable. Somebody's going to pay for that one. Believe it.
They'd be prosecuted and they'd be in prison. That's simple as that. Especially if people offed themselves over it because they were scared. That even with our computers, even with our TV and your cell phones and your laptops, right? You know what? If all of a sudden we got an alien craft come down and land, people are going to panic because, it isn't going to be like, hey, we're here to serve man. I don't think so. I don't. And
no. And you know what? Even if they did come down and say, we're here to serve man, that would bring up a red flag to me anyway, because what does that really mean? We're here to serve man.
Well, like I told somebody the other day on the show, why couldn't, or I think it was Mary I said it to, maybe Earth is nothing much more than a farm. Look how many people go missing every year.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. That's at the national parks and all over the world. Just vanish.
And it's huge at numbers in the national parks, and it seems like our the Forest Service, their police, right, don't really investigate it very much. It's really funny. And then, not just that, okay? You can sit there and say, oh, Bigfoot are doing it or whatever, okay? But it's really weird. Now, the other issue is that, how can I say this without sounding, that in the cities, people are vanishing. People in rural towns, they go for a ride, they're never heard of again. There's so many people that go missing every year. We're talking thousands and thousands of people that the FBI can't do anything about it because there's no trace what happened to them. They find their car, but they don't find. Is there that many serial killers maybe walking around killing tens of thousands of people and hiding their bodies somewhere?
And if you really want to blow your mind on statistics, look up Alaska, their total population, which I don't even think it's 1 million. I don't want to quote, I'm not sure, but look up Alaska's population, then look up yearly how many people go missing and do the percentage, and it is so head and shoulders above everything else, it's mind-blowing. How many people, the percentage of people.
Oh, I got an answer for it. They were the bears ate them.
Yeah, there's not enough bears to do all that eating.
They're starving to death anyway. The bears.
Oh, boy. Okay, I don't buy it.
No, I don't.
Alien bears, maybe.
I don't know. So it's just a lot of weird things that's going on. And, I think disclosure should be where all these people are going. Something is weird there. And are maybe going back to Eisenhower Day, where he supposedly, made a deal with a certain race of aliens that they could harvest a certain amount of people. Maybe barbecued human beings.
And the thing is, I don't think they're ever going to come around to say that, because that's saying, well, that's really admitting that they're liable for what they did.
Oh,
And I don't
no.
think that's...
How long would you, okay, this way, right? How would you feel in your local town? Your local police, right? Every time somebody does something they don't like, they off them. Okay? You wouldn't you wouldn't want to live there very long. Okay? In fact, you'd be gone. Now, if it found out that our government has been involved in letting people being abducted for exchange of, technology, how would the American public take it?
Right.
I tell you what, our government would collapse instantaneously.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It would implode or something. It wouldn't be good. The results would not be positive in a positive way, I don't feel, at all.
And I would think of 99% of the people in the military the same way, if they were ordered to put us in a martial law, if that case happened, okay, and they knew what was going on, I would think they wouldn't do it. Enforce anything, because how could you enforce something if the government was allowing people to be abducted? It blows your mind away.
Plus, they got families too. They're gonna let them, harvest their families.
I don't know. That's
right.
That's the whole part. So many people have gone missing, and there's no trace, and and I just can't buy the excuses. So I think, Mary Joyce, who's been on my show as a regular virtually every month for the last almost year,
yep,
swears up and down in North Carolina, there's a secret military underground base.
It's funny, because I do got to say something about that. Now, before I ever knew Mary Joyce or heard her stories or anything about all that, I did a lot of research 8 to 10 years ago, and I come up with the same results from different sources, that there's underground bases in the mountains of North Carolina down there involving aliens and stuff. And she pretty much validated what I found, and that kind of blew my mind. So that tells me there's smoke there. So there's something going on. There's something to it anyway. I think.
And this one underground base could handle thousands and thousands of people, and they're expanding it. Okay.
And plus, a lot of people's come up missing there too.
In that area, yeah. And on top of it, I didn't realize this, but we gave a big portion of a land, right, to NATO.
Oh my.
Okay. Up in was it Blue Ridge Mountains up, or whatever that is? I think it is. We gave NATO a whole bunch of land, some type of deal we made with them. And she claims that, for her resources, and not just one or two, it's been a lot of resources that has come to her, that people be out there, hunting or whatever. And, it's also posted where you don't supposed to be on certain areas, that they seen NATO troops.
Yeah, I've heard that same thing from different sources. And if there's no base there or nothing, what are they doing there? It doesn't make sense.
Now, going back about 8 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, 6 years ago, people were reporting on trains, trains with tanks and vehicles on it that had NATO markings being transported.
Oh. Yeah, and I wonder what was in that. Huh.
Why would there be NATO trucks and tanks and all that stuff on freight trains? I mean, that doesn't make sense either. It would be American. No. It wouldn't be NATO.
I agree. That to me is red flags. That would make, somebody should have took a lot of pictures of that and been like, what's up with this? What's going on here?
They did. It circulated around for a while, but then naturally, like everything else, I mean, something else comes up. So then, everything is short-lived. Haven't you noticed that? In the news.
They distract you over here while they do something over there.
Yeah.
And distraction. Yep.
So haven't you noticed the wall thing is simmering down, and now it's going on to different things? They do that. It's to keep your mind off of not being focused on something.
Yep.
Now,
smoke and screen while they're doing something over here.
Now,
Yep.
again, to my listeners, my show is paranormal/conspiracies. So I'm just talking, from what I'm not saying I believe what I'm saying. I'm just saying what I've read, what I've seen, the information I get from different sources that comes to me. I mean, it's up to you. This is entertainment, right? So you take it as pure entertainment, or you can give it some thought and do some looking up on the internet for yourself. But, it's a fact that we did give some land to NATO, and I don't understand why we would donate or give or trade or whatever, and why would there be NATO troops on it practicing? And this has been going on for a couple years. Now, again, it's not that far away from that huge underground military complex. Now, that is, again, too, is huge. And why are they expanding it? It's already big enough to hold a city, basically. So why are they expanding? And it's not just that. In fact, the information I've been getting, they've been expanding a lot of these underground bases, for some reason.
For some time.
Well,
right.
Actually, this is the last couple years. They've really speeded up, and maybe that's why, certain government agencies are $1 trillion on account of, they can't account for where their money is going. Or
else you look detailed into some of the budgets, like they're charging you, $10,000 for a $10 hammer. Oh, here's 20 of them, and you know how they do that kind of stuff. But laundering money to pay for these black budgets and stuff. But listen, there's a lot of shady stuff going on out there that you would think sometime some of these factions are going to butt heads somewhere, and something's going to pop up, or something's going to be exposed.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe so, but it's no more conspiracy or disclosure than UFOs.
That's true, and they're probably all connected anyway.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're almost out of time. We actually did continue for that second hour. Tell people about your show. You got 3 minutes to tell them when it's going to be on, and who your guest is going to be, and what it's going to cover.
Well, my show will be every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And it's every Saturday. And this weekend, my guest will be Wayne Wilson. He's a Bigfoot and cryptid researcher and enthusiast and anything cryptids. He's also a documentary filmmaker. And he will be my guest. We're going to talk everything from cryptids to Bigfoot to whatever, and what he's doing and what he's got planned and what he's seeing and what he's got, coming up. And then I'm going to cover all aspects of it. My guests are going to be anywhere from TV personalities, covering spirits, Bigfoots, UFOs, aliens, abductions, conspiracies, you name it, all cryptids, maybe even some champ stuff, Ogopogo and Loch Ness. I cover all aspects of it. I like to mix it up because I like all aspects of the paranormal. That way you're not, just one-sided. I like to cover it all because actually some of it is crisscross and connected together anyway. So I love it that way. It's variety, and it appeals to a wider audience, and I think everybody will enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy it, and hopefully with these guests, with some of the things, their experiences, and some of the things that they know with their knowledge, they can help some people out there listening. Maybe one thing they know or said could help somebody also. So that's what I've got going on.
Well, James, that sounds good. Everybody tune in, 4 o'clock Pacific West Coast time, 7 o'clock East Coast time, to James' show on Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark on Saturdays. We wanted to continue on with a show on Saturdays. I originally was going to cut it all out and just concentrate on my show. James is a good friend of mine, and you know what? I figured there's a lot of people on Saturday that, maybe are lonely and want to listen to a talk show that is fresh in the idea of the paranormal. Anyway, James, I'm going to cut you out. You have a great one, okay?
You have a great night, too, and thank you very much, and I hope everybody tunes in this Saturday, and have a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye.
You take care. Now, we got a lot of great guests coming up here, this week, next week, all the way through May. And I'm telling you, now I'm starting to book into June. But we have coming up here, Let's see. Steve, Steve Snyder will be on tomorrow. He wrote a